Hey everybody, I wanted to show you, while I have the opportunity, what our homestead looks like when there is a ton of rain. So we are just about an hour and a half south of Seattle, so we get a lot of rain, and waterworks has been a huge part of our permaculture design plan for the property. And I'm going to show you one area in particular as to why it's so important. So I'm going to show you basically what it looks like now and kind of some of the improvements that we have made so far, and I think you'll be able to see right away the difference that it's made.
I believe we're wild and free. I feel so alive, so alive.
Hey, I'm Kaylee with Rooted Revival Homestead, and this is just a really quick video because I wanted to show you all, while I had the opportunity, to kind of show you what happens when we have a really heavy rainfall. So we are just about an hour and a half southeast of Seattle, so we get a lot of rain, but this is even crazier than usual. We're supposed to get about 6 inches today. Yes, 6 inches between last night through today. So I wanted to take advantage of that and kind of show you some of the issues that we currently have, talk a little bit about what I have done so far, and just the importance overall of having a plan in place for water catchment. It's so important to plan your water design into your larger plan and to really be thinking about water, whether you live in an area where you get a lot of water like what we have, or if you live in an area where you don't get a lot of water. It's actually just as important no matter which side you're on. So if you're in an area that doesn't get a lot of water, if you're in a desert area, it's super important to capture and capitalize on the water that you do get. Or if you're in an area like us where sometimes you get too much, it's just as important because you need to be able to direct that water so that it's not causing damage. So this area back behind me is where we've had the majority of our issues. So the way that they set this up was basically our arena is right over here to the east of the barn. And when they built it, I really do believe that they kind of just leveled the land by basically scooping out the dirt. So what ended up happening is we now have basically these hills of soil all around it. And so everything drains into it and down into the barn. Another thing that I think happened is I know that the previous owners used to basically clean the area by the barn by scraping it with a tractor. So they would just pull all that manure and the dirt and the muck out with a tractor and scrape it all out. Well, what happens over time is you're taking off those top layers of soil with you. So eventually what can happen is you're actually causing a dip, and that's exactly what's happened here. So all of this rain now floods and goes directly into the barn area. And this has been a huge issue for us, even in smaller rains. Now, we've been doing a lot of things that have helped and have really reduced the amount of water that's draining into this area. And I have a lot more plans as well that we'll be implementing over the next year or two. But it just takes time to build all of that. But I do want to show you what we've done so far that's really been helpful. This summer, I'm going to basically grade this area, raise it up so that we aren't having as much drainage issues into this area. But I have put some swales in place which have really helped. These kind of puddles used to be normal with any sort of rainstorm. Any type of rain, we ended up with puddles like this. I've been working to create swales so that this doesn't happen every time it rains. Now at least it's only happening on big rains. And then of course we will be grading the land and correcting that over time. But this was our solution for right now, and it has made a big difference. So basically we have the rain coming off of the arena, and that's a huge amount of rain. So a lot of it comes down the downspout, and then a lot of it just drips off. So we have this swale here that comes along from the arena, and it basically moves all of that water that would normally just be sitting in this horse pen out into the goat pasture. Same thing here, we have this coming off of the barn. So this downspout comes down off of the barn and deposits into a swale, and the two converge together. Now, these are more drainage tunnels than actual swales because they're not on a contour, but then they come out into the goat pen. Let's go out there so we can see that better. So this is the worst I've seen it. But let's go to this side so you can get a better look. So here you can see them coming together. This is the point where they converge. And then they flow down into this first little holding area. So this little holding pond is usually perfect for any average rainstorm. We rarely have it fill up all the way. Maybe once a month or so during the rainy season, it will fill enough that then once it's full, it actually drains down this other channel and into this secondary pond area. So this is basically our overflow pond. Now, you can't actually see it because it's so full. So the reason that I put the overflow pond here is because it's in a lower lying area. So these are all higher, and then the ground slopes, and there was this naturally kind of sloped area right here. So the reason that I put that overflow pond there was so that once we have a crazy rainstorm like this, it would do exactly what it's doing. Not only does it fill the area that's dug out, but it's also going to fill the area surrounding it in this natural low-lying area. And what this does is it's going to capture all of the water, and instead of it sitting by the barn, it's now moving it out here. That's going to help give it a space to go until it can be absorbed back into the water table. And we have found that this pen is actually greener and stays greener even during the dry season because the water table is so much higher here because we capture so much water in this area. So this system has been working incredibly well, and we still have so much more to do, and there's a lot of work I want to do on these pens over here. Eventually we have a full plan to regrade the land, expand them, even potentially put a roof over them someday so that there's a covered outdoor area for the horses. But in the meantime, I'm really glad that we were at least able to do this. I've spent many days out here in the rain digging these, because honestly the best time to do it is when it's raining, because you can easily see which way the water is going to flow. I definitely made some guesses along the way, but digging this out when it's been raining has been great. Obviously a rainstorm like this wouldn't be as ideal, but it's good to see that it can still perform and that's still holding up even in this heavy of a rainstorm. And the overflow pond is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. And honestly, we're just gonna hope for the best with the rest of this storm. It's always good, I think, to see what other properties are doing, what other permaculture homesteads are doing to alleviate problems like this, to work with water, to try and capture as much as possible and use it in a manageable, helpful way. Hopefully you like this video. It's wet, I'm gonna head inside. I feel bad, the horses are gonna need floaty tubes soon because they're gonna need to start swimming. But we're working on it. It's not a perfect system and it never will be, but it's certainly better than it was, and we're going to keep improving it over the years. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up for standing out here in the rain to film it for you. And be sure to like the video and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're doing on your property. I'd love to hear more ideas. We're going to be working on this project for a while, I think, along with various other areas where we're having drainage issues. So all ideas are good ideas. I'll see you guys next time.